Hi, everybody. I'm back again. I thought I was done for the day, but then the Lord said, I want you to go down and give some more of your testimony. So, anyway, first of all, I'm just going to start out with these scriptures because I know this is why he's doing it. Revelation 12:11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Then Timothy 1:8, 2 Timothy 1:8. Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of God. All right. Well, so this is why, because you never know, too. Whatever I might say here might help somebody. They might have the same kind of things happening to them. So I know that that's what he uses everything for the greater good. So I'm sure there's going to be something that might be key for somebody else. Um, okay, so he wants me to go further into after I quit my job that I was talking about in the previous video. Um, then I wasn't sure, I made the decision on my own. And then he told me that's what I wanted you to do. And I said, okay. I said, I'm like, where should I get a job now? What do you want me to go into? Because he had me like job hop toward the end of my before all this happened. Okay, he had me jumping all over. Everybody thought I was crazy in my family. He One of my previous jobs before that, he had told me the day before. He said, "Linda, you're gonna have to quit." Because my boss had called me and he said, "Linda, what time do you get there in the morning? And I need to talk to you, and I want you to be alone." I'm like, "Well, I get here at 6:30. I always got there at 6:30." So he said, "Okay, I'll call you in the morning." Well, I got in the car and I'm like, Lord, what is that all about? Now, what is going on? So it turned out I had a woman there that just absolutely hated me. And I know now, I didn't know then, I didn't know any of the stuff I know now, that she was just an evil one and she saw my light. Okay. If you are of God, the evil ones, these people or she was influenced by the evil one, is what I should say. um uh anyway, they can see it, they know, but they don't know why they feel like they do about us, but they don't like us. If you've ever had those situations where you're like, what on earth? I've been nothing but nice. I thought this girl was my friend. She fooled me big time. Well, she went to the company about something that happened, and then I got in trouble. Okay, I was trying to fix stuff in their company, and I had spoken to them about she wasn't doing her job right. Like a month prior to this, nothing got done about it. But then they get on me because of what happened between she and I. So I was like, okay. So on the way home, when he had called me, I'm like, Lord, what is going on now? What is going to happen? And he told me right away, you're going to have to quit. Oh, Lord, please. My family thinks I'm crazy. I keep going from one job to the next. Like, please, Lord. He said, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to quit. Well, he was right. The next. So anyway, I didn't want to do it, but I knew he had told me that I was going to have to quit, and I did. Okay. I never did this in all my life, you guys. I always gave a notice. Okay. So here I had back to back, not back to back. There was three that I ended up quitting on the same day. Okay. When something happened, I got put in a crappy position and I had to quit them. Three different jobs. This was so not like me. Before that, I was in a job for 9 years and I gave them a month notice. And then I even felt bad because I knew the guy coming behind me wasn't going to cut the mustard. And I knew them all so well, I didn't want to leave them in that position. So I had said I would even stay longer. And then the owner said, "No, Linda, you this is your date. We'll be fine. We'll make it through this." I'm like, "Okay." And we went and had lunch and everything. Everything was good. He and we got along great. I just was overwhelmed and I didn't know why. And I found this out in hindsight. What the problem was, they ended up having to hire two full-time people to replace me after I left. So I was overwhelmed. And I did accounting for 25 years, but then the Lord took me into some other stuff. So, um, that's why one of the reasons I believe he has me doing this, because I always was good at investigation. Okay. When you do accounting, you're constantly investigating. So, to find out what I've learned, he made me read so many different books. He led me to ancient books. I only read what he told me to. He took me to a website that was it was a university. This was so many years ago, and I could not even tell you what books he had me read. But he had me read several different books, okay? And then he took me into the word and started showing me all this in the word. Okay. Because at that point, after I'd read these, I could see that, oh, something's fishy here, especially when I read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. He's told me that that was her also in that life. Okay. She's here on earth now. She's been back and forth, you guys, this whole time. Okay. So Mary Magdalene, I knew it because what he had been telling me, I went and read, he took me to that. That was the last ancient book he had me read. And I read what was there, and I'm like, well, it really doesn't say much. And then he said, okay, I want you to Google, look for people that have studied this. Okay. Well, then I got to a study on this, and it said that 5 pages were torn out of the gospel, and then in the middle of it, and then 2 at the end of it. Okay, because it was called the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Okay. So then I'm like, oh, look at this. Here we are with the cover, just like we got going on in this world, right? So then I was like, okay, I believe it. This was when that was all with I can't remember, because at first I was only talking to God, and then he brought Jesus to me. And so, when he does this, like with me, what he did was I had always talked to God. And then eventually then he said, I said to him, I said, um when he started explaining to me that Eve was going to marry Jesus, okay, I knew that he was Adam. I had seen that in the word. But when he had explained that, and I finally said, I feel bad. I've never even talked to Jesus, because, I know that you are Jesus. He's a human form of you. So I never have. So next thing you know, Jesus came God brought him to me one night, and he said, Linda, I have Jesus with me, and I want you to start talking to him now. And I was like, okay. And then Jesus introduced himself, and then I knew his voice. It's a little different than God's, okay? So then I was like, so then Jesus took it from there, and he's the one who showed me all this and really showed it all to me in the word, because he's the teacher, right? So anyway, then what happened? Let's see here. Lord, what else you want me to go into? Um, I'm not hearing anything else here, Lord. What else? Lead me into what else you want me to tell about. All right. Well, I guess I'm stopping there. I'm not hearing anything. So, basically, what I want you guys all to know, though, is it is not easy. This is why so many people don't follow the narrow path, because you are going to go through a bunch of crap. I mean, you have to already know that when you decide to do this, you are going to be dragged through the mud. People are going to hate you for no reason. You're not going to understand it. That's the way the evil works. He uses people to come after us. In my own walk, he's used my husband, he's used my son to try and make me disobedient, you guys, but I stood my ground. It has not been easy. Then I get my husband on the same page with me. Well, next thing you know, he's down there talking to his brother, and then his brother's asking him stuff, trying to push me into doing things that the Lord told me not to. Because after he had me quit my job, he told me, I don't want you to go back to work. Now, I do that, you guys? I'm like, wait a minute, this is a lot of money all of a sudden. How are we going to make it? And, but I listened. I didn't want to do that. I kept asking him, can I go back to work yet? Can I go back to work yet? No, 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 no. He kept telling me no. And he still has me out here not working. Okay. Now, would I love to go throw a whole bunch of extra money into our bank account? Absolutely. But I'm going to stick with this. I have to. I have to be obedient. All right, I think that is it for this one. I mean, all of you, same goes for you. Be obedient. Don't let anybody push you into anything the Lord does not want you to do, because that is how the evil one works. He's going to use the people that are closest to you, especially. All right, that's it. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I think I'm done today, but maybe I'll be back. Bye.